Hey guys, my name is Veronica Castaneda. I'm 32 years old. I'll actually be 33 on Friday, June 5th. I live in Westmont and grew up in Downers Grove. I also grew up in the city of Chicago until I was about 11 years old. I felt the need to do a video like this for the first time ever. I'm never posting live videos on Facebook or any type of video like this, but because at the end of the day, I am a parent and I am a resident of this state. I do feel like, as a resident of this state, that we all need to speak up against this because it is a relevant issue that affects all of our families, especially when our closes of our stores are being closed and our towns are being boarded up. Memories for our children are being taken from us. From what I see is we're divided between three parties right now, which is looters, which I feel opinion-wise are uneducated young people that aren't aware of what they're doing is wrong, and they feel self-entitled to do whatever they want when they want at this time, thinking that they're going to produce some type of acknowledgement towards a man's death that doesn't even uphold. He didn't want it like this. George Floyd died at the hands of a police officer, which, yes, should be held accountable, and even the police officers that watched it happen. But at the end of the day, I'd be a liar to say that there are not good police officers. There are great police officers that I have worked with in Downers Grove and Westmont, and there are also bad police officers that I have witnessed do things in all towns, Downers Grove, Westmont, Chicago, towns around me. I mean, we can make this about race, but at the end of the day, all lives have to matter for our children's sake and our children's future, because if all lives don't matter, cases like women trafficking, children trafficking don't matter, then we all have to matter, or we're going to be our own enemy, man against man. As we see last night, the media plays a huge part. I always tell my children, too much of anything is too much. I'm not a huge advocate of media and tablets and devices, just because our generation was the last generation to not have that, and I feel like we learn knowledge the right way. While how it was explained to us, history like this was explained to us properly by our parents who were educated in it, lived it at the time, and I feel like that is why our generation is the last one to respect the history that we had in our buildings and everything, and we're not hopefully a part of any of the looters. I feel proud of the protesters. I think that they need to continue to peacefully protest. I think their statement should be heard. At the end of the day, we must understand that police officers need to be held accountable because they hold the law in their hands. They control the law. But at the end of the day, they are also civilians just like us. They go home to families and kids, and they deserve protection as well. And honestly, the government says it all over all of us, over us as civilians, over us as police officers that are civilians. They govern us all, and we must never forget that at the end of the day, because if they want to send military troops in here and treat us like animals, because 20% of us are acting like animals, they can do that. And they will kill innocent bystanders along the way, as we've witnessed them do throughout the nights. We've also witnessed them, they'll be very peaceful and march with these advocates and want to be a part of it. So we must really see what's really going on, and we must also, even though we think that staying silent is better, all of us are involved at the end of the day. Whether we are sitting at home peacefully and not protesting, not looting, we are all going to go down together. United we stand, united we fall. That's the one good thing about the United States of America, is that it helps us all, but it also can destroy us all. And I think that we need to remember that, because this can go south very quickly, and I feel like it already has. It saddens me to see the buildings boarded up in downtown Downers Grove. It saddens me to see, memories destroyed in Chicago. I love Chicago. I used to live there, but at the end of the day, I was fearful of the police down there, because there are many corrupt police officers down there. But at the end of the day, there are a lot of great police officers that have helped me in many ways, and I cannot deny that. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for some of the police officers in Downers Grove. And I can honestly say that. So I have love for all people that are trying to make this movement positive, and I have sadness, and I pray for the ones that are trying to break into buildings and steal things, because that is not the way that this is going to change. I hope people can understand that we need to keep our community safe together, and obviously not like try to halt anything the police are doing, but if we can as a community possibly turn our lights on at night. Everybody has, turn their floodlights on if they have them. This will keep our communities, vibrant with light, and if looters come in, then we're able to see them and the police are able to see them. I feel like we need to use the media outlets for positivity only. Sharing videos of more and more police corruption isn't going to help this, or more corruption between nationalities like what happened last night in Cicero. But again, we don't even know if any of that is true when it comes to people posting, because a lot of it has been proven to be false. I think we need to stick to our guns and realize that we weren't past racism, but we were getting past there. Our generation has produced many kids multiracial, and I love that. I love seeing so many mixed children because it shows me that there is a way out of this, that we can produce a way out of this, and it saddens me to see no future for our children. I feel like as parents, I hope that we are educating them through this time, teaching them that this is something that is wrong, was wrong, who was wrong, and why and how we should have handled it. I feel like the president saying that he's going to send military troops, it's like, if you could quickly take away amendments and you can quickly send troops like that in, then you should have quickly addressed this issue the second day. We are going on day 7, I believe, of these riots and hate, and I feel like as a president, I get why people like him. I'm not politically educated. I do have my CADC and my bachelor's in human service, but I'm not going to claim that I know about politics, because I don't. But I will say that previous presidents, from day one, he has stated racism as a point, and the fact that we have simply forgotten about the kids that are still in these housings because their parents were sent back to their countries. It's like every day is going to be a topic, and we must never forget that. There is so much going on in this world with racism. We have child trafficking, we have, women being assaulted, we have the poor against the rich. I mean, we have so many things going on that and people need to understand that the result of this also was being housed for so long. We were housed for almost 3 months, and then these people were let loose pretty much to do what they wanted, and they chose to take a negative outlet instead of a positive. But again, anybody that's been incarcerated and then brought back into society can understand that you don't come back the normal way that people think you do. And people need to understand that what was going on before was already tragic. This is even more tragic, but we are destroying ourselves at this point. We need to unite, we need to build outlets and share them on the media of how to help each other and help everybody, because no matter if you speak up or don't, you will be affected by this. They will make a law for all of us, even if you didn't participate. Everybody needs to remind themselves of that, no matter what nationality you are, no matter if you are even policemen, they're with us. They will be governed under every law with us. And the people must not forget that. So we must unite. I feel like we must remember all the good police do. I have a lot of family members and friends that are police officers, and I'm praying for them every night. It saddens me to even hear on the devices at night that there's so much corruption still going on, and that there's so much looting still going on that's so aggressive. I hope that we can, as a community, calm that in some way. Like I said, by lighting our community with lights all night, and by uniting, by posting positive signs, that you stand for the police, that you stand for justice, that you stand for peace, though, that you don't stand for violence. Any voice is better than no voice at this point, and we definitely need unity, and we definitely need to see the bigger picture here, that there are different things going on, and we must stay positive, we must stay observant, and we must understand that this is our country at the end of the day, and we are the only ones that can fix it. So I appreciate that you guys take the time to view this video. I would appreciate you guys sharing it. I definitely want to share positivity throughout the towns right now, and for whoever I can. I just want everybody to understand we must stay positive and united and love each other no matter what right now, and understand that we're all this together. Police and civilians need to work together to make this end so that the looters can stop, because they won't stop otherwise. Like, we must really understand that they are going to damage everything until we are all affected. At this point, I can't even go to Walgreens to get my kids' prescriptions. So for people to say that they're not affected, whether it's hugely or not hugely, everyone is affected, and everyone should do their part and be held accountable at this point. I will add one last thing before I end this video. It does sadden and sicken me that we have become so consumed with media that the civilians that were recording what was going on in front of them, I feel like if this had been 50 years ago, there would be no camera phones and someone might have helped that guy. And we must remember that, because that part we need to take ownership for. We had many civilians recording what was happening. We had 3 or 4 officers watching what was happening. We are all accountable, to be honest with you, and we must all own that and understand that at the end of the day. And which is why I say we must stay together, keep each other safe, and spread the light. We need to spread light to this darkness. We need to calm the negativity and only share positivity. And we must really understand that this will be history for us and our children. We will have to explain this. So it's better to educate them now than later, and try to help them understand that loving everyone is the only way that we have a country. Thank you, guys.